Hey, it's Eli Campbell. In our Common Folk in the Boat series, we highlight the fact that the Yampa Valley attracts some of the best in their respective fields. Well, March 1st through 3rd, 2024, the Yampa Valley is going to be playing host to some of the best Bluegrass musicians as well. And we're excited to have an opportunity to chat with a few of them before and while they're in town. This is our Common Folk spin-off, WinterWonderGrass Folk in the Boat.
Eli Campbell here with you. Obviously, we are now at the venue for WinterWonderGrass. How amazing is this? We finally made it to the weekend. We're continuing our WinterWonderGrass Folk in the Boat series, interviewing some of the incredible musicians that are here in town this weekend. I've got Dan Andree here from the Fretliners. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me. Doing great. What a day.
It is gorgeous. You couldn't ask for better weather. Obviously, we're here about 2 hours before the gates open. There are a lot of people running around like ants, making sure it is set up for a wonderful event. But it looks like they are going to have a beautiful day for first day.
Yeah, we're ready. Bluebird, sky. Yeah, good skiing up there, it looks like.
Yeah. Now, before we get to the Fretliners, I have to ask you a question about ethnomusicology. That was your major in college.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? And if you have that major, if you graduate with that, can you really do anything other than become a musician afterwards?
So I have an undergrad degree in ethnomusicology, and I really got into that because I didn't want to do performance, because I was doing bluegrass outside of school. Yeah. So I didn't really want to play an academic note, and I also didn't want to get into education. And I found a way to be able to study music where you can talk about how people use music in society, how they use it in ritual, and you can study sort of how different cultures use music, what it means to them in various settings. So that was fun. Yeah, the only thing you can do with it is keep going to get a doctorate and teach it.
Yeah.
So I didn't end up doing that route. I got a grad degree in library and information science after that, with the idea that I could work in a music library or music archives, which I did in school. But yeah, I mean, it gives me a broader perspective on music, but I don't use it for work or for, professional music performance.
I mean, you're a musician, so it certainly ties in. There's plenty of other people that have much farther ties from the major they did in college to what they're doing as a profession.
For sure.
Now, you went to college and you grew up in Illinois, and then eventually you migrated out here to Colorado. What brought you out here?
I was coming out here. I went to Telluride Bluegrass Festival for the first time in 2008.
Yeah.
And so this next year, I think will be my 13th time there.
Wow.
And I just kept building more and more community out here. And I was just found myself in summer and winter break from grad school coming out here to play music.
Yeah.
So when I graduated in 2018 from grad schools, might as well come out to Colorado, look for a job, look for a place to stay.
It'll still work.
Still working.
Yeah.
My friend Jay Raymer, who lives in town here in Steamboat, was hiring me to come out and play a lot. And he's a big reason, him and Denton Turner, who's also a Steamboat resident, were big reasons I was able to make a community out here and come out and play music professionally in Colorado.
And Jay and Denton, both well-known musicians here in the Steamboat area. Now, for you in Colorado, you founded the Fretliners, part of the first iteration of that, or I guess the only iteration.
Yeah.
But the way that your website describes the way you guys came together, it's like a serendipitous moment, almost like a love at first sight type of thing. Can you talk about what it was that made that so powerful?
Yeah. We all felt it immediately, and all of us have been in different projects. I was playing with Chain Station before that, and Taylor and Tom were playing with Woodbelly. Sam was playing with Jeremy Garrett, and Lonesome Days before that. And so it was kind of a pickup gig that the four of us got together for a random party in Fort Collins. And we came away from that set, and like, that felt good. I think we should do more of that. We didn't have in mind that we were going to really start a band and really leave our other projects and concentrate on this until later. But immediately that first gig, it felt like the four of us really had a connection musically. So we thought it was all serendipitous. I think Taylor Shuck, the bass player, had a little scheming in mind and got us together on purpose. He might be the secret mastermind behind the formation of this band. But it's cool. This is my first project since my very first one that I'm founding member. We're all building it together. It's a collaborative, 4-person project, and it's feeling great.
Yeah, and I mean, if you had any doubts about that feeling, obviously you guys kind of proved your worth. Last summer, you were the second band ever to win the competitions at both Telluride Bluegrass Festival and Rockygrass in the same year. And you look at some of the bands that have won even one of those. It's it's last year's headliners here, Green Sky Bluegrass, it's Little Smokies, South Austin Jug Band. So talk about, what did that mean for your confidence as a band coming out of that?
It was great validation to know that, how we were seeing ourselves is how other people saw us too.
Yeah.
It's one thing to feel great about the way you feel when you play music with people, but to know that feeling is felt by others was, really validating. We worked really hard on those competitions. There's a very strict, rubric and rules to that thing. And Sally Van Meter, shout out to her, was the producer of our album and our band coach for those competitions. And she really prepared us well to, shorten some arrangements, make them within the 3-minute thing and so on. But all that hard work and connection that we had through that work together really brought us closer as a band too, and validated what we were feeling about ourselves.
And I'm sure it gave you a lot of confidence as you went into the recording studio to record your debut album. Now, kind of in a unique fashion, you guys were using your fans' support with a GoFundMe page to help fund that. Wondering, as you went into the studio, did that put a little extra pressure on you, knowing that the fans were the ones that were helping to really fund this album for you?
I think, if anything, it gave us more confidence that people wanted to hear it. So we were going to do it either way. And it's really, these days, without, the ability to sell CDs or there's just a lot of streaming these days is how most people consume music. So I think because of that, people are happy to help when they know that, we spend less money supporting artists buying digital or physical music anymore. I think people are willing to pitch in to be like, all right, I understand that this costs thousands of dollars to make an album. And so, it was humbling that we reached our goal with that. And we had some little pics made that were on one side our logo, and on the other it said, I helped fund the Fretliners' debut album. It was a lot of words to fit on a pic. They said it couldn't be done.
Was that like a 6-point font?
So that was a nice little token that we gave to people too. And we did a little differently than doing the Kickstarter. But the GoFundMe was really just, if you believe in us and you have faith in knowing that we're going to give you a good product at the end of this, then, we're asking for your support. And people pitched in, and it was humbling that we got that support and we were able to do it. And we're proud of the album.
Yeah. And, you're going to be playing some of the music off of that album here at WinterWonderGrass this year. You guys have a pretty full schedule. You are booked to play pretty much all day Sunday right here in the Jamboree tent.
Yeah, that's right.
You're going to be playing tomorrow night at Grass After Dark with Shadowgrass.
Yep.
One of the more unique features of WinterWonderGrass is they've got the Power Flow yoga that you guys are playing for. And I'm wondering, that's when you think of yoga music, a lot of people think of calming, meditation, spa, binaural beats, and things like that. So I'm wondering how you prepare for that. Are you working with the yoga instructor to figure out when to peak and when to calm it down? And
good question. It's not actually my first yoga performance.
No.
My friend Maggie Taylor teaches yoga in Illinois, and I used to play for her classes. It's called Groovin' Yoga. And I would play for free yoga classes. And I was doing remote yoga like in 2020 and in 2021. And when I looked at this class we're about to play, Laura Rust is the teacher, and I realized she was teaching a lot of those digital classes I was taking. So we're going to see tomorrow if she recognizes me from the little square in a Zoom box. But they did send us a run of class. So we've had sort of vibes of what to be instrumental, where lyrics can be in there, where to swell, where what's going on in the class to be able to feed off of that. And it will be cool to, I've done it before, but the Fretliners as a band have not done this.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool to stretch our, musical horizons to figure out how we can do that together. But we do have a sort of like general vibe set list of, what to do in this 10-minute window. And I think Laura's really good at structuring her classes so that she knows ahead of time where what's going to be happening at what minute mark and what sections. Yeah. So that helped us to sort of put together a general idea of how we're going to approach it, but not too, prescriptive that when we're in the moment, we can't adapt to what's going on in the class. So it's going to be fun and unique.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing. And WinterWonderGrass always does a great job of not just having the event here at the Knoll parking lot. They always bring in these other little events, yoga. They have free concerts on the mountain. And that's what you guys were part of last year. This is kind of your second experience with WinterWonderGrass. You're a lot more involved this year. So what are you most looking forward to out of the weekend?
Oh man, it's such a full weekend. I'm just looking forward to staying in the moment and saying no when I need to say no, but trying to say yes to as much stuff as I can. I got in 2 nights ago, and my only gig that I had on the books was last night. I played with Jay Raymer at Schmiggety's.
Yeah.
But I've sat in on or played sets 4 different times in the last 2 days, just because friends are around and we're playing together, and it's like, hey, can you come sit in here, or can you fill in here? And it's just this is always such a great weekend of community and of people getting together and playing together when you don't always have that chance. Everyone's in the same place and we're ready to make music together. So really looking forward to just being in the moment and being with friends and growing that family every year. It just grows a little more. And so you never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to make a connection with that's going to last for years to come and build from there.
That is my favorite part about WinterWonderGrass is you never know who's going to pop up on stage. All the main stage guys are bringing in the side stage to play with them. Side stage bringing in main stage. Just anywhere you are, the tents or anywhere, you get great music. And so obviously people are still getting things set up here. We're just less than 2 hours away from the gates opening up. I want to thank you very much for taking some time to meet with me here. The WinterWonderGrass Festival single-day tickets are still available at winterwondergrass.com. I'm not sure. Maybe yoga is still available.
I think yoga might be sold out.
Might be sold out.
But come see us. Come say hi to the Fretliners. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun coming up this weekend. You can get more information at winterwondergrass.com.